My God, was that a bad play on Tennessee yesterday? Jesus. So much for the 20th ever 30-dime college football release of my career on the Volunteers. Now, true, I'm 15-5, still lifetime with those releases, but you talk about a bad play. And listen, for all you Tennessee Volunteer fans out there watching this report, and I'm talking about you right there, I just want to offer my personal apologies because it's all on me. It's my fault that Kentucky won for the first time in Rocky Top since, I believe, 1804 yesterday. It's because I backed Tennessee. It has nothing to do with the fact that Jeremy Pruitt is really a lousy coach. It has nothing to do with the fact that, Tennessee couldn't stop a running play, even if you told the Volunteers defense 2 plays in advance that the run was coming. It has nothing to do with the fact that Tennessee's quarterback, I think, just threw another pick 6. No, it's all on me. And I fully expect that I'm probably going to get hate mail today. In fact, I think Peyton Manning is probably going to send me some hate mail today, and he seems like a nice guy. But he's pissed at me probably too. It's all on me. But listen, it's a loss, and there's no denying it. Now, some guys in this business will say, well, I went 2-1 with my free picks yesterday, giving you Alabama, giving you NC State, coming within 1 point of hitting with West Virginia, and gee, I keyed the wrong game, but I don't play that BS because Tennessee was my best bet, bar none. And the fact is, I lost that play. And some guys in this business will wilt the following day, and they'll come out with a meaningless play. I don't play those games either because, listen, guys, I think every single day I'm going to win. The same way I don't celebrate the wins, I don't lament the losses. Because today I am coming right back with the biggest play I've had all season in the NFL. Another Raise the Bar 20-dime release. In fact, number 4 in a row this season. I've won each of the past 3 Sundays with the Raise the Bar 20-dime releases. Last week it was Pittsburgh. The previous 2 Sundays it was Tampa, first over Denver, then over the LA Chargers. And I'm going to do it again. Because that's how confident I am. Because I always think that I'm going to win. And if you don't have the same balls to bounce back after a loss, then what the hell are you doing gambling in the first place? You can't have a defeatist attitude. So today, I go for NFL winner number 9 out of 11 this season. Raise the Bar winner number 26 out of 39 and 4 straight this season. And it's on Baltimore, Philadelphia. And it once again is the half price play of the day with coupon code HALF. End of story. So, your complimentary plays today, let's get to them, and I'm going to run them in reverse chronological order. Let's start with the Sunday night game between the Rams and the 49ers. I know the Rams are 4-1, and they've played a very soft schedule, and they're coming off a 30-10 win over Washington, and I know San Francisco's in a must-win situation. But listen, just because they're in a must-win situation, that doesn't mean they're going to win the game. I mean, this San Francisco defense has just been ravaged by injuries. No Nick Bosa, no Richard Sherman, no Dee Ford, no Kwan Williams. Jimmy Garoppolo was pulled last week, not because he was ineffective, which he was, 7 for 17, 77 yards, 2 interceptions, and his offensive line couldn't protect him against the Miami Dolphins as he was sacked 3 times. He was pulled because he was playing on a bum ankle, and they didn't want to risk him getting hurt anymore. Does that mean suddenly, 7 days later, he's going to miraculously perform? Does that mean that suddenly the San Francisco offensive line going up against Aaron Donald, who, by the way, had, 4 sacks last week, is suddenly going to give him great protection? I don't think so. I like the Rams minus the points in this one, and I'm buying down that half point since the Rams are a 3-point favorite in this one. The 49ers' most potent weapon right now offensively is George Kittle. And you can understand why. And I think the Rams are going to put Jalen Ramsey on them and take their chances. San Francisco was pathetic in that 43-17 loss to Miami. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick lit them up. Now, I know the 49ers are going to come out here and try to establish the run against the Rams, and they should, because the Rams have repeatedly this season been unable to stop the run. Gave up 136 yards against the Giants in week number 4. Gave up 101 yards on the ground to the Bills in week number 3. Gave up 136 yards against Dallas in week number 1. But they are 4-1 on the season, and the only bad game they played was on the road against Buffalo. That game where they fell down about 23-0, and then made that late rally. But the Rams defense has played well overall with 20 sacks, tied for the NFL lead. They had 8 against Washington last week, and the 49ers haven't shown me anything. So I'll take the Rams in that game. On the early card, let's go to the mid-afternoon card. I like Miami. I mean, have the Jets shown you anything? They've scored the fewest points in the NFL. They've given up the second most points in the NFL. They've got Captain Bly as their head coach, who happens to be the former head man in Miami. You don't think the Dolphins still have some animosity for the Adam Gase tenure? And do you think the Jets are going to rally around their coach and win one for the Gipper today? I don't think so. I mean, dissension. That's the word of the day when you're talking about the Jets. Nobody's happy there. It's a bad team. Joe Flacco, big deal. He's 6-0 lifetime against the Dolphins. Well, those 6 wins came when he was playing with the Baltimore Ravens, and the Ravens aren't suiting up today in Jets uniforms. You could only hope if you're a Jets fan. I mean, listen, this is a bad New York team. End of story. And Miami, Ryan Fitzpatrick is playing lights out right now. When he gets on one of these rolls, which he is on, you kind of got to roll with him at the moment. I mean, he was really good. Last week against the 49ers, 22 for 28, 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. Got to roll with him here. Jets, 75 points scored in 5 games. By the way, Flacco is 7-0 lifetime actually against Miami. It doesn't matter. They're not going to win today. 8.5-point favorite. I'm shocked they're so cheap. On the early card, I like Tennessee minus the 3.5 points. Listen, I was wrong backing the Bills the other night against Tennessee. I know it's Tennessee's second game in a 5-day stretch, but the way Mike Vrabel had his team ready to play, despite all the absent players they had because of COVID-19, and they have so many of those guys back here today. I saw how the Texans earned their first win after firing Bill O'Brien, and they beat Jacksonville. Big deal. That 30-14 win against Jacksonville, does it really mean anything considering the Jags were missing most of their front 7? The Jaguars had no pass rush. They were missing numerous defensive backs. And that was the same Jacksonville defense that allowed Miami to score touchdowns on the Dolphins' first 3 possessions in the previous game in which they were hammered. Derrick Henry today is going to go up against the 3rd worst run defense in the league. A Houston defense that is allowing 161 yards a game and 4.7 yards per carry. Now, I'm not saying Tennessee has the greatest defense, although it played pretty damn good against Buffalo, right? But the Titans are putting a lot of points on the board. 35 points a game the last 3 games. That's 6th in the NFL in scoring overall. Where Tennessee struggles defensively is on 3rd down conversions. They allow opponents to convert at a 60% clip. And in red zone defense, where they allow opponents to score touchdowns on 83.3% of their opponents' tries. But those 2 areas are where Houston absolutely struggles. The Texans are 26th in terms of 3rd down conversions. They're 24th in terms of red zone offense. So where Tennessee struggles defensively, Houston struggles offensively. Home teams covered 6 of the last 8 in the series. Tennessee's a 3.5-point choice, which I think is pretty damn cheap. I'm going to go ahead and buy down the 0.5 point in that one too. Also on the early card, Carolina is a slight favorite at home against Chicago. These teams haven't played anybody here. I mean, the Bears are 4-1. Their 4 wins have come against teams with a combined 4 wins. Carolina's 3 wins, each of the past 3 weeks, have come against teams with a combined 3 wins. Yes, I am very impressed with the way Matt Rule has gotten this Carolina team together. And you cannot help to be impressed with the way Teddy Bridgewater has played. He leads the league in completion percentage at a little over 73%. He is 6th in passing yards per game at 292. Mike Davis has done a great job stepping in place of Christian McCaffrey. In fact, he's averaged 4.8 yards per carry the last 3 games, and I think like 117 yards total from scrimmage the past 3 games in McCaffrey's absence. But I think Nick Foles is going to only get better with more time here. I think Chicago has a huge edge defensively. I think Foles will have a good game here because Carolina has absolutely no pass rush whatsoever. I think that Chicago, whose ground game has been pretty much non-existent, even though they have David Montgomery, it has been sluggish to say the least, will be able to get something going here because Carolina's weakness defensively is not only no pass rush, but an absence of a run defense because Carolina allows a little over 33 rushing yards a game. You give Foles time in the backfield, let him run some RPOs, you get Montgomery on track, and I think Chicago can walk off here with the road win. And I'm a guy who gave you Carolina as a free pick last week and really like the Panthers at home. So I'm going to go again with the Rams, Miami, Tennessee, and the Chicago Bears. And if I had to rank those plays, I would have to say Miami would be number 1, Tennessee would be number 2, the Rams would be number 3, and Chicago would be number 4. So that'll do it, guys, and I wish you well and talk to you again.